Hey folks, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a quick one. I am not going to introduce you to any new ICT concept. I am simply going to do a video on the two trades that I took this week, and I'm going to break it down and tell you why I took these trades. These are, of course, trades following my model, the one that I preach and teach on this YouTube channel. And that is why I believe a lot of you could find this very helpful, especially if you started trading the model that I teach on this channel. Um, I've not been very active on the market this week. I am still in America, so I'm very busy during the day. Therefore, I don't really actively trade. Um, but I do look at the market and see what we did during the day, right? Every night. So I still have kept intact. I just haven't been actively trading except for these two trades, which went fine. That is why we are now going to do a breakdown of what happened, why I did what I did, and why they were winners, right? So let's get into the video. Okay, here we are on the E-mini NASDAQ 100, where one of my trades was taken. As you can see, we had a very bullish week. And what I usually do on weeks like this with clear displacement, right? Violating bearish P arrays all the time, right? Multiple times, right here, 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 right? All these bearish P arrays get violated. What I usually do is just go with the flow, right? We are in bullish order flow, obviously. We are very bullish. So instead of trying to catch reversals and go short all the time, I just look for longs, right? It's way easier to just follow the clear direction of the market and not try to catch reversals, right? That is way harder. So I might as well do the easy thing, right? So the trade that I took was up here. Keep in mind, this is the 4-hour time frame, okay? This was my drawn liquidity, right? This high right here. So what ended up happening was I saw on the 4 time frame right here, right? We were holding a 4-hour bullish fair value gap, okay? We were holding this, and what did the next candle do? It violated these two bearish P arrays, okay? Keep in mind, this is the 4-hour time frame. We violated two bearish fair value gaps in the same 4-hour candle. Huge displacement, right? What does that tell me? Well, that tells me that this high is almost, without a doubt, getting taken out, right? The liquidity above here is going to get swept, okay? And if this is going to get swept, this is going to get swept, okay? And why is that? Well, first of all, the week has been insanely bullish, right? And we were holding a bullish P array, and we just violated two bearish ones, okay? So that is exactly when I start looking for my setup, okay? So my higher time frame delivery in this case was a 4-hour inversion fair value gap, okay? We go to the 5-minute time frame here. You'll see what I'm talking about. Let me delete these two, okay? This is the inversion fair value gap that I was talking about, okay? And as you can see, the timing of this is very important, okay? 10 a.m. was right here, okay? This line represents 10 a.m. What is 10 a.m., right? 10 a.m. is the opening of a new 4-hour candle. And the opening of higher time frame candles usually has manipulation and then distribution, right? I have a video on this. But 10 a.m., we are very bullish. New 4-hour candle opened. I see right before a high gets taken out, right? This high over here. This high over here, right? Right before that gets taken out, we have a new 4-hour candle opening, and then we get this retracement. And I immediately know, because this is at 10 a.m., the new 4-hour candle opening, that this is manipulation, right? So all I'm doing is waiting for distribution, right? The real move. Because I know this is going to get taken out. Again, why do I know that? Because on the 4-hour time frame, we just violated two bearish P arrays, okay? So I'm expecting manipulation because it's 10 a.m. If you're confused about this, go watch my video on it. Okay, so I'm expecting distribution, right? And I'm expecting distribution to happen at around the inversion fair value gap of that 4-hour fair value gap, right? So we come down, we retest it, And because I see huge displacement, I'm very confident that now we are in the distribution phase, right? So what did I do? I saw that this got violated, this 5-minute gap right here. There's only one in the leg. That's very good, right? So as soon as this candle right here closed outside of this Fibonacci gap, violating it, right? I placed my long, targeting the high on the 4-hour time frame that I showed you before, this high right here, okay? But why did I instantly buy and not wait for a retest? Well, I'll tell you. That's because I know that we have just had manipulation, now distribution. That usually happens with displacement, right? So I am not confident enough that this is going to retrace back into this 5-minute inversion, right? It might just take off and go straight to TP and leave without me, right? And I don't want that to happen. So because I'm so confident that we're going to take this high out, I just place my long automatically here. And if we go back into this inversion, I might just add more to my position, right? But this right here is so little, right? 13.6. So the difference in the money I get from TP if I place my long here and here is not very much, right? So it does not really matter. So I would rather be 100% certain that I don't miss this move and maybe miss out on 20 bucks, right? Than just miss out on it all, okay? So that is basically the first trade that I took. Um, or the oil one was before this one, if I'm not mistaken. But this was the only trade that I took on the Nasdaq this week. And again, we violated two bearish PD arrays on the 4-hour time frame while holding a bullish one, right? That tells me that this high right here, this 4-hour high, is gonna get taken out. Okay. The 4-hour candle opened right here at 10 a.m. So I imagine that this is gonna be manipulation, right? I see this displacement that violates a 5-minute fair value gap. That tells me, okay, we are now in distribution. I want to look for longs, right? So as soon as we violated this, I went long, targeting the 4-hour high that I showed you before, and it went fine, right? That's the first trade. Let's look at the one that I took on oil. Okay, here we are on oil. As you can see, we had a volume imbalance on the daily time frame right here, okay? When I have a daily PD array as my delivery, my setups are usually a success, right? If my setup appears with a daily PD array delivery, the likelihood of it failing is very, very low, okay? So I saw that we just tapped into this, right? We tapped into the daily volume imbalance. So I went to the 5-minute time frame, right? And then I looked for a setup. So right here, we hit the volume imbalance, right? As you can see right here. And what ended up happening, we violated this bullish fair value gap with displacement, right? So what do? I place my short here. And if you've watched the other video, you know that I like doing mental stop losses. And that is always just when the candle closes, in this case, above the inversion fair value gap, therefore violating it, therefore invalidating my idea, right? So my stop loss in this case was a candle closure outside of or above this inversion fair value gap, okay? Targeting liquidity. I targeted this low. Looking back at it, I should have targeted this low, but I did not. I targeted this one, right? And what ended up happening, we hit TP fairly fast, right? Again, very simple. This is the most simple it's going to get. We had a daily volume imbalance, right? We tap that. I see we violate a 5-minute fair value gap with displacement. I place my short when we retrace back into it, right? Targeting opposing liquidity, in this case, internal liquidity, right? You could have also used this as your break-even point and targeted this low. I believe we take that out too. Just takes a little longer. Yeah. So you could have used this as your break-even point, your partial point, and then taken profit here or full profits here with your break-even point being maybe this or a gap, right? That's what I did. So that was the trade on oil. very, very simple, right? Higher time frame delivery, daily volume imbalance, go up to the lower time frames, find any entry model, right? You could have used anything. A fair value gap worked with this too. I'm sure if we go to the 2 minute here, we'll find a fair value gap right here, right? The first fair value gap that formed after we hit the daily volume imbalance right there, that would have worked fine too, right? I sometimes do that. If no inversion fair value gap appear, I will just trade a fair value gap or an order block, right? Or a breaker block, anything. Um, but I like using the inversion fair value gap when that appears. That usually gives me a better RR, right? But anything will work. Uh, just go on the 5 minute time frame after you've had a higher time frame delivery, or the 3 minute time frame, or 2 minute time frame, or 1 minute time frame, or 30-second time frame. It's up to you, right? Whatever works for you, do that. Just get a higher time frame delivery, 15-minute plus, and then drop to a lower time frame. Look for your entry model, whatever that might be, right? Mine is usually an inversion fair value gap, but sometimes a normal fair value gap or an order block, right? So that was the two trades that I placed this week. I have not been very active, but it has been a very, very bullish week. And I know a lot of people got screwed over, right? Because they tried to catch reversals instead of just following what the market represents, right? It's clearly just going up. So don't try to fight it. Just go with the flow, right? Um, So yeah, those were the two trades of this week. I hope that helped you and gave you a somewhat of an insight of how I interpret the market. And yeah, I know that I like watching videos like this. It helps me way more than some concept video or whatever, right? Trade breakdowns are always great for practice. But yeah, if you haven't tried out this model and you're confused on what to trade, I would highly recommend trying it out. I have a video going a little bit more in depth about this about this concept, strategy, right, that I trade. So give it a shot. Do your back testing, do your forward testing. Don't just immediately start trading this on your live account. Go on your demo account first, practice it, get comfortable, and yeah. Hope you enjoyed a quick video, as I said, but I hope it was helpful nonetheless. The uploads will be way more regular again once I am done traveling. That'll be in about a week. Um, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and until I see you next time, stay blessed and bye bye.